Hi, how are you guys? Welcome to my home. I'm gonna give you a lesson on how to make sourdough. Alright, so the purpose of this is I want you to grow the sourdough over the next 7 days, and then we'll make probably 4 different loaves from it over the next couple of weeks. Alright, so sourdough, we don't need yeast for it. What we're going to do is we're going to absorb the natural yeasts that are already present in the flour and in the air all around us, and then we're going to grow our yeasts. Alright, so right here in the jars, if you want to zoom in, Sean, my lovely assistant, this here is a sourdough that I made yesterday. So this is just 1 day old, and you can see that it's starting to go stretchy. Alright, and it's actually alive. Alright, this one here is a 4-day-old sourdough. So this has been growing for 4 days. I've been feeding it for 4 days now, and you can see how much air and stretchy this has become. Alright, so this has still got a few days to go, this one, before we're ready to use it, but it is actually edible now. When we get to this stage, we start throwing away some of the dough, because otherwise it gets too big. But we can actually fry this up as a bap, and you have it for eggs on with your eggs for breakfast. So that one there, this one here is also a 4-day one, but this one here I've added rye flour to it. All right, so this has just got, overall it's had 100 grams of rye flour added to it. Now it's a bit stiffer, but the rye flour will give it a different kind of a flavour, because the rye flour has different kinds of yeasts available on it as well. Alright, so I'm going to trial these two out in a few days' time. So what you need is a nice clean jar, rinse it out with some boiling water. Yeah, everything needs to be clean. We don't want to introduce any bad bacteria to this. Alright, and all we're doing is we're taking our scales, tearing it, and the first part of this is we are going to weigh out 50 grams of flour. The better flours to use are organic, but you can just use your typical supermarket flour. Alright, and we're just going to put 50 grams of flour into here. Alright, and then we're going to add 50 grams of water. Now the water you have in here in wire wrapper has got chlorine in it as a sanitizer to make it safe to drink. So I keep my water for my sourdough in a bottle on the windowsill there, and I just top it up. It needs to be out for at least 24 to 36 hours before you can use it, unless you use bottled water. If you're using bottled water straight out of a deep spring or whatever those labels are, then you can use that, but the tap water always has chloride. Okay, so this has been sitting on my windowsill for at least 24 hours. And now if I can get the lid off, there we go, we'll add 50 grams of water to this. So I'll bring it up to 100 grams in total weight of my dough when we're beginning. Alright, and then we're just giving it a stir. I use these little bamboo skewers because they're nice and easy to get into the jar. And we're just going to give it a stir, and stir in all that flour, and you can see the difference. So I'll come to you. So this is it when we first make it. Alright, so I'm just going to make sure I've scraped all the stuff off the bottom. Alright, so that's when we first made it there, and that's 24 hours later. Okay, so you can see how that dough has developed from that, which won't give us any stretch because the gluten hasn't formed in it. Alright, there's no stretchability to that, whereas the stretch in there is much better in 24 hours. And in 4 days, look at our stretch now, okay? So having great stretch like this, we've still got 3 days to go on this one. That's what gives us this beautiful, airy, open breads that are really crunchy on the outside and really nice and chewy on the inside. All right. So we're going to make ciabatta out of this here further on. Okay. So that's what I want you to do, is to get yourself a starter dough. You're going to put 50 grams of flour, 50 grams of water, and you're going to leave it covered. I just put a paper towel over it overnight in a warm space. Alright, so it needs to be a warm space. It needs to be about our temperature. So we keep it in the lounge with us. Up here is the next part of, if you come over here, this is what is going to happen over the next few days, and I'll touch base with you each day. Okay, so this is day 1, this is what we've done now. Day 2, we're going to do the same thing again. We're going to add another 50 grams of flour and another 50 grams of water. Day 3, we're going to throw away 100 grams. And we're going to add 100 grams of flour and 100 grams of water. Day 4, we're going to take out 150, then add more flour and water. Day 5, 200. From day 4, we can start eating that dough. You can eat it here, but it's a bit sloppy. Alright, and then day 6, this is the day before we make bread. We take out 250 grams and we add 200 grams of water, 200 grams of flour, and then we'll be ready to make our bread. So you get onto it. What I'd like you to do is I'd like you to make up your dough and give me a photo history of it. Okay, so day 1, your bread. Okay, and we'll follow it right the way through till we get all our breads at the end. Okay, any comments, get back to me and we'll figure it out. Cheers guys, best of luck.